Here's just a real short video. My mom wanted me to water those potted plants there, so I decided to get out my twister. I actually had to move it to right about there. I did have it right about where those pots were, and it was hitting the windows of the house. It's actually still kind of hitting the house. That shows you how much range it has, and that's just off a hose. So I'm just gonna let it run for probably like 5-10 minutes or so. Probably not for very long, because these really don't need to run for very long to soak an area. Since it's going to be hot for the next week or so, it's going to be like 80s now, like into the 90s almost. Heat index is in 100. I'm probably just going to set that off to when I'm done, and then just put it right back there when I need to water them again. It does a really good job of soaking this area. Komet, I had never really seen many sprinklers from them when I was starting out, except for their guns. But then they introduced the KPTs and then the KPWs, which was the wave, which is supposed to be like the R55. So it's like the R55, but it has waves. How, if I can remember, I'll let me try to include a link to one of those to information on the wave sprinklers. The wave sprinklers are supposed to be like replacement for the R55 by Nelson. They are just basically like a fill-and-end gun for pivots. Fortunately, the wave is also like the R55 in that it needs to be ran by a pump. I'm not able to run that off a hose unless I've got good output and pressure, but I'm just going to let that go. I actually wish my parents had these in the garden, like here and here, instead of those sprays. They'll do a lot better job. Komet seems to be, I have started to see these in pivots, on the pivots that I see when I drive around the country sometimes, but they're starting to get those on pivots now. They're supposed to be better than Nelson or even the sennigners wobblers. So this will have better application rate and better droplet size. See, these were dry when I started. Now they're getting wet. This is just one hose. See, over there's the faucet. No, here's the hose just going to my setup over there. This is the peak model, so it does not need to be hung upside down. This is meant for up top operation. Like I said, if I ever got a house and I had gardens like this, I would just put a bunch of these in the garden and just put them on a timer. Hot days, I just flip them on, and they're actually pretty quiet. I mean, except for like the noise they make rotating. I mean, that's not going to be able. I think these are supposed to have like anti-vibration things on them, and also maybe regulators so the pressure stays constant. Usually on pivots. I'm not sure if you need to run it if you're just running off a hose, but probably. These run regulators on pivots because the farther you get down the line, or the pressure changes, so you need something to keep it all constant, especially on elevation where it's hilly or whatever. That also affects the pressure going to them. So regulators are a big plus in keeping all the application rate the same on each sprinkler as it goes down the pivot. He's already got my pants soaked. I'd say they're getting maybe by that bush that's just in front of that purple bush all the way to this. That's about the area that it's getting. It's actually hitting the house there and getting over there right in my neighbor's yard just about. So one sprinkler off just a hose, it's pretty good actually. It's a pretty good amount of range. I wish I could talk my parents into replacing all these sprays and stuff in here with these, but I'm sure my dad would go for it. So Probably need to run this the next couple days because it's going to be super hot. My mom asked me to run it every day, so I'm probably just going to stick it in here somewhere, and then when I need to, I'll drag it back there and turn it on. So I recommend anybody that's using, like, starting out with a garden, these could be used for watering your yard if you don't want to drag out impacts, or if you had a big yard, a gun or something. If you got a decent yard like this, you wouldn't have to move it around very much for it to irrigate your yard. So thanks for watching.